Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the DoubleClutch.ca podcast. I'm your host, Nick, managing editor of this fine establishment, and I'm joined in studio with my co-hosts, Nathan and Imran.
And for those of you who might not be aware, we are a dedicated gaggle of gearheads that have been running this magazine for the better part of a few years, more or less as an excuse to play with new cars. And this week, Imran got to play with a Ferrari 488. Why don't you tell us about that, buddy?
Yeah, that was all sorts of special.
That's kind of a bucket list thing. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
That was blue, the correct color for a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Right? I'll die on that hill, guys.
So yeah, I've driven two Ferraris all my life. I drove a 360 Spider when I was like in my early 20s just by sheer dumb luck.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice. Gated
Okay, wait, let's talk about that. How was that?
Yeah, gated manual. I'd love to comment on it, but to be honest, I was scared shit. I was like 23 years old.
Right, yeah.
And it was like my dad's friend's car, and he just like literally tossed me the keys.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Like the guy's on the phone, and he looks to me and he's like, "Can you drive stick?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I had an Ultima manual at the time." He just throws me the keys. Walks away, and I'm just like shaking. So I might have revved that thing out to like 5,000, and but yeah, it's still like this ingrained core memory of mine, like and forever will be.
Yeah, the first time, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny you should say that. My first Ferrari was also a gated 360.
Nice.
It was a sunroof coupe.
Yeah.
That is to date the best car I've ever driven.
Incredible. A sunroof coupe?
Super rare car. So it's kind of like a crappy Targa where like it's just a large sunroof panel pops out and like, hides in the front of the car. But yeah, unreal, ridiculously good car.
Yeah.
Benso reviewed it for the magazine.
Yeah, we do have an Enthusiast Corner feature story on it. That was kind of a dream come true for Ben as well. And come to think of it, driving Ferraris seem to be a lot of dreams come true for all of us, but I guess I kind of seem like the odd one out because while I do enjoy them, it's not really top of the bucket list kind of a thing for me.
So I had a friend, we were having a conversation, and I always say, like, I prefer a slow car fast versus fast car slow, and a 488 is holy shit fast.
Yeah.
And he's like, maybe you'll change your mind once you drive like a real exotic. And I had it for a week, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. Like, it is ferocious.
Yeah.
I hear
stupid quick.
I hear really good things about modern Ferrari steering.
Yeah, I thought it was bang on, like damn near perfect. Like the weighting was really good. It didn't feel artificial.
Yeah.
The transmission was phenomenal. And I love the fact that they don't really like refine, like they're trying to tell you that it's an automated manual kind of thing, like you have to hit the paddle to put it in gear. There's no drive button.
Is there a reverse button?
There is a reverse button.
Okay.
It'll roll back in gear.
Is there a park button?
There is no park button. You just put the parking.
Okay.
You just put the parking brake on. Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
I kind of like that sort of theater to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, holy the power out of that 3.9 liter twin turbo V8. Virtually no lag whatsoever. And the owner that we had it from, it was. He had a Compresto valve controller installed, so I kept the valves open the whole time.
Nice.
And yes, it doesn't sound like a 360.
Yeah, it's not the same as the actually aspirated cars.
But that's okay, because it still sounds friggin' amazing. Yeah, and just like it is true, like the chassis balance of that thing felt completely unflappable. The thing I was most surprised about was the fact that 670 horses to the rear wheels didn't feel scary. It actually didn't. Like, I actually felt when we had that MA competition, when you put that thing in rear wheel drive mode, that thing felt like I'm going to die.
Yeah. Or Hellcat.
Yeah, or same thing with the Supra we had a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like that felt like their rear end was not ready, was not set up for that car.
Yeah, and with this thing, it was just like, obviously it's mid-engine, but but you never felt like it was going to get away from you. Like, you felt so confident in that thing.
A lot of people say that about modern supercars, and I feel like that approachability, that ease of use kind of detracts from the fact that, it kind of detracts from the supercar experience that
a supercar should scare you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a Hellcat is scarier.
Yeah. Like, what better way to feel alive than to feel terrified for your life?
Yeah. Was it Jeremy Clarkson who said you're most alive when you're closest to death?
Was it Clarkson?
Was it Clarkson? Or he quoted someone? Maybe he quoted someone.
He probably quoted somebody.
But But yeah, no, it's not that. Like, I wouldn't say it felt sterile. Like, that's not what I'm trying to imply here.
Okay,
like, it didn't. It wasn't like, oh, this is too competent.
Right.
Like, you can get it to shimmy, you can get it to kick out the back end. Like, you can, but it always felt in control.
Interesting.
Right. Yeah. And like the only way to like get a rise out of that car was to go bewilderingly, stupidly fast.
Yeah.
And at that point, what's the point?
Yeah, like as soon as you hit that speed limit, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I believe Nathan, your line is drive it like a gorilla.
Yes.
Nice.
Something like that.
drive it like a gorilla. What does that infer?
I don't even know what the concept is. Nick, can you use that in a sentence, please?
Okay, so I believe it's a quote from your M3 CS story, in that you can only really upset the M3 CS.
Oh yeah, so
drive it like a gorilla.
yeah, if you're being like super hand-fist with it, like just like crank it on the steering and like just being dumb with the throttle, like being a moron, like just full throttle everywhere all the time out of every corner, like not even trying to be finesse, just a dumbass.
Yeah, like I see that. Like when I was driving around the 488, my first thought, like getting into it at first, was like, I don't want to end up as a YouTube fails video.
Yeah,
right.
Fair.
With a damn near $400,000 car.
Fair. That belongs to your buddy.
That belongs to a friend. And he was showing me around. He's like, "This is the launch control button." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not going to be trying that. Like, I'm okay. I'm okay without that. That's okay." That was my sentiment. So at first, I was like very cautious and careful. Yeah. And then you just realize that it's like, no, the people who are putting this into a wall, like they are idiots.
Yeah.
Because this thing is.
Yeah, because it's like, so got your back. Like it's doing so much work for you. Like Ferrari's traction control. And like the Manatino dial, it's like so brilliant. It's so perfectly calibrated.
Yeah, it really is, and it doesn't feel like it's taking away from the experience at all. That car was as close to perfect as I've driven. Like I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Not that I have the money for it, nor probably will I in this lifetime. But it's still not a car that I'm like, oh, this is now on my vision board. Don't have one of those, but it's
not
like it's
what the vision board would say.
I'm still very much. I know we talked about it last week, but in some ways that Mazda Speed Miata gave me, similar endorphins, if you will. But you look
just because you can lean on it more.
Yeah, you're just like, I would leave my neighborhood in fourth gear in that thing, and just because like you look down and you're like at 90, like this is great.
Yeah.
Right, so not a car that's like on my dream list per se, but I could see why people love them.
I kind of stopped caring about Ferraris after the 430.
The 430, for one, I think is one of the most beautiful Ferraris made. I really like it. I'm still partial to the 360.
355, 360, like
the 355 is
sure.
beautiful as well. And this is an unpopular opinion, but yes, because I grew up on Need for Speed. It was high stakes, right?
2?
No, high stakes.
High stakes.
And the F50 was.
Yeah.
I still love one of those. Yeah, one of my photographer friends, the real ABD. You should actually look him up. He has some great photos. But he just shot a yellow F50, and I was drooling looking at those photos. Like,
Yeah, I think that car might have like the most ridiculously seductive rear 3/4 on any car ever made.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love that thing. I don't know. I know it was kind of not hated. Maybe this is too strong of a word, but just because you have 40s around, like people are like F50 was kind of this forgotten
middle child kind of
thing. A little bit, right?
There's a lot of 90s cars ended up like that.
Yeah,
like kind of like the weird middle child that now we're looking back and seeing like that was the one. That was the one to have. Like
I love that thing. But I don't think back to the 488, like turboed Ferraris are A-okay with me. The sound all its own was I'd say it was intoxicating in its own way. It does a weird thing though. So you can drive in an automatic and it will short shift like crazy. And the thing is, under 3,000 without the valve control, the valves are off. And it's actually quiet. Like I can roll into my neighborhood that's full of a bunch of old people, and no one would complain. But it does this weird thing that if you're driving in manual, and let's say you're not going 10/10ths, but you're shifting just over 3,000, the valves, even at part throttle, will open right over 3,000. So it goes from quiet to super
big
loud.
yeah,
and then you
my
shift
like
and
that.
and it goes back to quiet.
The Jaguar I had last week was like that. Yeah.
It's like stupid programming. It makes no sense
And
whatsoever.
3 is way too low for that. Like way too low for
but
that.
it's not even calibrated to like throttle input.
Right.
So,
yeah,
you know what I
it's
mean?
just a hard on at
It's
3.
on or off, and it makes you look like an idiot.
Now, was that more so the car's stock tuning or the or the valve programming doing?
No. That's the stock tuning.
Really?
Like he literally got the valve controller to
okay.
circumvent that.
Interesting.
Yeah, and even
Wow.
when you start up the 488,
Yeah.
the valves start open
Yeah.
and immediately close. So it like
Yeah,
starts
it makes one
up,
quick shout to make a show.
Nice.
and then just you hear it
Nice.
just like click off, and then everything goes quiet. Essentially,
Yeah.
it's weird. Like I know it's some noise regulation stuff and random
Yeah.
country
Yeah.
XYZ blah blah blah, but yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, but yeah, overall love the thing.
But I think what we really want to know about, and I thought it was hilarious, is that you also had an Equinox the same week.
That's
Yo, how was that?
Clearly.
Because I was scheduled on that, and I was.
How did you
I
get
can't-
out?
I can't
how
even
did-
keep a straight
How
face
did
on
you
that.
get out of that one?
Clearly. That's the car we care about here, the Chevy Equinox, bro.
So
Okay, but actually, like, I think GMs drive pretty okay. Like, actually, how was it? Hold on, let's backpedal because I have forgotten. Is the Equinox like mid-size, compact? Where is it now?
it's compact. It's a 1.5 liter turbo.
I can see why you didn't talk about it that much compared to the 488.
Yeah. It is a vehicle.
It is an car. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe. And I don't even mean that in a bad way. Like I really don't. But like I was talking to my wife about this, and there's just nothing that is memorable about it. And yes, no, I don't mean like compared to a Ferrari or something like that.
Yep.
But there's just like, it's not like, oh, it has a great sound system, or the illumination at night is great, or just something about it. It's like there was just nothing that.
I recently bought a washing machine, and I imagine the buying process among compact crossovers is a lot like my wife and I shopping for our washing machine, in that, oh, well, this one's under $1,000. Oh, this one's white. This one has multiple cycles. Like, there's nothing memorable about washing machines either. In the same way, there's nothing distinctive about.
Bro, the Maytag has the multiple cycle button in a different location. It's way more ergonomic. You stupid.
Well, we ended up with a Whirlpool. No, we're not talking about this now.
Did you know that Equinox was white? Is this where the washing machine?
Is it white?
Yeah, it was white.
I had no
Really
idea what
speckled
color.
white Equinox press? Oh god.
That's right. Yeah, it was white.
Okay, what was the trim? Was it at least a nice trim?
It was the Premier.
Okay,
yeah, it was a nice trim. It was like it was not like the interior quality was good. It was black leather, and it had this kind of like caramel or orangey stitching. Like,
a
which
little bit
was
of personality in there.
which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Orange stitching.
Yeah, but again, outside of that, like it uses analog gauges, which is not bad, but they still remind me of like my dad's '91 Cavalier. Like,
I kind of like that about GMs, honestly. Like they're very familiar. Like I can give like someone who hasn't driven anything since '91, drop them in a brand new GMC, Buick, Chevy, whatever, and they're like, "Yep, this makes sense," and they instantly got it.
Yeah, and that's like the washing machine example.
Yeah.
Like I can come to your place and use your washing machine, and I'll know how to use it. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Maytag
it's
gang.
we are not sponsored, but hey, Maytag, we'll take it.
I need a new dishwasher too.
But yeah, you're right. It's like it is that appliance thing, right? Like it's just there is familiarity to it. It doesn't use a gimmicky rotary shifter dial.
Everything just works.
Yeah, it's basic. It's honest. It just kind of makes sense and works, and that's fine.
Like everything is easy to find.
Yeah, and like to its credit, I didn't drive that one, but I've never driven a GM anything that drove anything resembling poorly. Every GM I've driven has driven exceptionally well for what it is.
Yeah, I'd say so too. Like it's not like the Jeep Compass, which was my initiation vehicle. That one was an objectively bad car. Like it was just like. It was like, even my wife pointed out, like, why is it like when you're braking, it feels like it's not going to stop? It was like diving so much. The Equinox had none of that.
Yeah.
Like it was like, it just, it did what it needed
Yeah,
to
they're
do.
competently engineered and they're fine. And that's not
Yeah.
a bad thing. Some things can just be fine and that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. There's a large cohort of the population that
Yeah,
is just
that wants a car that's just fine and makes
works,
sense,
yeah.
and it's just a whatever kind of, I don't want to say throwaway, but just a whatever NPC mobile that just works and does things.
It's a car-shaped car.
Yep.
Yes, it is. It is a prototypical NPC mobile. That's that's what it is.
Yeah. Speaking of NPC mobiles, Nick, you're in the process of drafting a comparison about some fancy NPC mobiles.
We did, yeah. Last week, we kind of split our time between the Lexus NX 350, non-hybrid. It was just a gasser, and it just so happened to fall on the same week as a Mercedes GLC 300, which, by the way, wouldn't start up upon picking it up at last Monday.
Didn't it also not start again when you were
Yes.
trying to leave here?
Yes.
Yeah.
So apparently it was a software update that was triggered by accident, and that impacted
Everything.
That impacted everything, and it effectively bricked the car.
Wait, that like we triggered by accident, or like it was just like an OTA update that
Exactly.
was
Yeah.
So the car decided it's up to 8 o'clock.
Yes.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yes.
Get bent.
Yep.
nice.
Awesome.
Happened twice. It was very fun. Very fun. It triggered a check engine light, but it cleared up within like a couple of
Oh,
days. So
man.
that's.
Oh, did that check
whatever.
engine light go away?
It did.
Oh, very good.
Excellent.
Is that not?
Piece of shit.
So you guys have been doing this for longer than I have. There must be some other horror stories of cars not starting, not working.
Not really.
No, this one's pretty egregious.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing
Like,
was
we've had issues. Like I've noticed a lot of Fords have had like just weird, dumb little QC issues. We've had a couple Lincolns where like the screens went out. We've had a couple Volvos where the screen went out. I had one with a critical charging fault, and bricked itself,
Nice.
and then cleared up.
Nothing's left me stranded, unlike this GLC 300.
Yeah.
So didn't our like EQS booking get delayed a couple times because
it broke.
it
Yep.
wasn't working
yeah,
either?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was supposed to have that like 3 months ago,
Nice.
and we didn't get it because it broke. And then when we did get it, it was falling apart.
Flagship.
German engineering.
Yeah.
No. Don't throw them all into this.
You know what? Vehicle doesn't start on account of software issues? My 300,000 kilometer BMW M5 starts up every time.
Yeah.
It doesn't have software.
My 35-year-old BMW starts up every time.
No software.
Yeah. It has software. It has EFI.
Yeah.
It's very fancy. It's Bosch Motronic.
Wow.
The first generation.
Fancy.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
luxury. But yeah, when the GLC 300 did decide to start up and function properly as a car should, wasn't that bad, actually. I would argue that the interior actually felt a little nicer than the EQS.
Nicer or the EQS? Pardon me. I thought you were making the comparison to the
No,
Lexus
no.
that we were comparing
No,
it directly to. Okay.
We're going to get to that.
Okay.
Not sure about the new mild hybrid powertrain. I did feel like it did take a while to like kick down
Oh yeah.
and kind of shoot you ahead. So there was a bit of lag on initial tip-in, but it was actually very comfortable on the highway. I would argue it's a bit more compliant, a bit quieter than the NX on the highway.
Possibly, yeah. I could get behind that.
I was surprised to learn that despite the $75,000 as tested price tag for the GLC 300, it was missing adaptive cruise control.
Wow.
Well, yeah, but it had the AMG package and the night package and the black package, and it looks sick, bro.
And
it
the
also
two premium packages that had the premium and the premium enhanced packages.
Yes.
And yet none of those had fucking adaptive cruise control.
Yeah, and that's all I want a press car to do. Like, I'm in this so I can have fancy new cars every week that drive themselves. I just want a boring commuter car that I can just set to on and forget about it. I love adaptive cruise. I need this in a modern car. I've become spoiled. I don't care. I need it.
And this is the thing about like luxury cars today, because you have cars from mainstream manufacturers.
like a Civic has it as standard. Am I correct?
Right?
Like,
yeah, exactly. Like Honda, their intelligent safety suite is standard now. Doesn't Subaru include it too now or something?
They all have like a safety suite of some variety. I don't know how many of those make adaptive cruise and lane tracing as standard equipment.
I think for Toyota, I think Honda and Toyota.
I think Honda and Toyota do.
I think on Toyotas, adaptive cruise is not quite standard on the base models. It's standard on the mid-level trim.
Yeah, you'd have to go out of your way to
white
not get
sellers.
it to get a Toyota without adaptive cruise.
But I'm pretty sure you can spec like a base Impreza, base Forester, base Crosstrek,
Yeah, without it?
Yeah.
with adaptive cruise.
Oh,
Yeah.
With eyesight.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the fancy NPC-mobiles.
Actually, wait. Before we get further into this, I'd like to bring up the GLC's grill,
Okay.
which I hate. I despise. I loathe
Yeah.
it. It's so
the mini.
the little like field of like mini TriStars.
Yeah. So that's part of the AMG.
Hate it.
One of the
Hate
two
it.
AMG packages that this thing had. I tried to count how many little 3-point stars there
goodness.
were on there, but I lost track like halfway through. So there are, let's just say there are
A bunch.
many
Yeah.
3-pointed stars.
It just
on
it
the
strikes
GLC
me
300.
as I can't remember when exactly this became popular. I want to say guys helped me out 15 years ago when like handbags with like the repeating logo on it, like Gucci or Louis Vuitton handbags with like that
okay.
repeating.
Yeah.
And I thought as soon as I saw that, I think my 15-year-old self, like that is the tackiest, most terrible trash in
No,
the
but
world.
from-
And as soon as I see that, I assume you're a bad person.
But from a
You just have
distance,
to
like
be.
it's kind of like it blends in a little bit. Like
It
it's
kind of
not
blends
like,
in, but then but they're doing it on multiple vehicles. They're doing it
Yeah.
on the EQSs as well, and like it just
Yep.
strikes me as like a flashy, obnoxious branding exercise because Mercedes doesn't know what to do anymore. They're not flagship engineering. They're not cutting edge. They're not doing anything really special. They're just going for bling and brand image because that's all they know how to do. The only thing
Yeah,
that
that I
vehicle was
agree with.
uniquely excellent at was the sexy mood lighting. Mercedes has got that down pat so well.
yeah, 'cause it's like
GLC
a
or the
nightclub.
EQS?
Mercedes in general, they're really good at
Yes, yes, I will admit. The GLC 300, both the refreshed one and the pre-refresh actually that I had a couple years ago, both of those absolutely nailed the mood lighting at
that. Yeah,
night.
sexy mood lighting. Just like
Yeah.
more. Just more. It just
Yep.
looks like South Beach, Miami at night. Like it's
Oh
just
yeah.
neon.
Well, you have
It's
all like that
ridiculous.
the shiny silver and chrome on the inside,
Yeah.
plus the lighting. It's like very
Yeah.
very disco nightclub.
It's
thing.
very like it's attractive because they're not doing like the problem is that like Mercedes used to be like engineered to a standard. These vehicles were built with unbelievable, impeccable
Yeah,
quality
bank vaults,
materials.
yeah.
They were tanks, and now they're not doing that. They're cost cutting. They're not doing anything better than anybody, so it just has to look flashier than everybody, and that's where the stupid Louis Vuitton grill comes from, and that's where. Admittedly, the very sexy mood lighting comes from. But there's nothing that vehicle does that the Lexus doesn't do significantly better.
Really.
Okay, so circling back a little bit, I would argue the GLC was quieter on the highway. I did notice it had double pane glass. Can't
Double
remember.
pane glass?
It did.
Okay,
Yes.
fancy.
I can't remember, or maybe I didn't lower the NX's windows at any point, but so I can't comment on that. But I do know that the GLC did have double pane glass, and therefore was a little quieter, a bit better cruising on the highway.
Okay.
But that being said, the NX definitely a better value proposition, if you ask me.
Yeah, and like I felt it was a nicer place to sit. Not
Yeah.
as flashy, but just nicer,
Just
more
everything-
well thought out.
Everything felt more intuitive in the NX.
Yeah, and in a way that's not going to be like horrifically outdated
Yeah.
in 8 years. Like that's still going to look like a nice place to sit in 10
Yep.
years. Like at the end of its 96-month financing period. Whereas like I think the GLC will look tired.
Yeah.
Or like if not tired, out of date. But
Well,
I mean,
that's-
all that glossy piano black will look tired
Oh, yeah.
and haggard and
Yeah.
scratched to hell
I mean,
on.
the Toyota Lexus way is not to go out on a limb too
Yeah.
far, right? And that kind of in some ways it helps them because
but like
yeah.
It still has the NX still has physical
nice.
controls
Yeah.
for the climate. Still has a touch screen, which I think is a lot more usable than
Yeah.
the previous.
Is it that giant like
touchpad.
14-inch?
It's the big
screen
14-inch
one?
screen.
I
that
actually,
works really well.
I
It
actually
works
love
great.
that. I had
Like
the,
it's one of the best in the industry
It's
now.
snappy, beautiful graphics.
Yep.
I might be one of the few who actually enjoys using MBUX, but it's if you don't rely on voice controls, if you're using either infotainment as a primarily touch-based system, I would say the EQS has a bit of an edge in that regard. It's a bit easier to use, a bit more logically laid out.
The EQS?
No, the GLC.
No,
You said
saying,
EQS.
you
Either way,
said
all
EQS.
Mercedes use
Oh.
the same. All the
Whatever.
Mercedes use the same.
I meant
system.
the GLC.
Okay, but I find like in the EQS, I couldn't find half the things I wanted to find, and I resorted to using the voice control that we were memeing in our chat group about that didn't work.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Lexus, like I didn't drive the NX, but the RZ or RZ that I had, it was back to the Equinox conversation. Like you got in and you just
oh yeah, this makes sense.
Knew how to operate.
Yeah, but I feel like it's worth mentioning. Like Toyota interiors are generally like they're very conservative. They're generally on the plain side. I don't mean this in a bad way, but there's like they're thinking very longevity. Whereas like in this Lexus NX, which is the platform mate to the RAV4, like it's stylized. It's a nice place to sit. It looks and feels fancy. Like this is something that they get down pat very well while still being conservative and nice. You can do nice without being flashy, and that's like they pulled it off really effectively there. I didn't love the NX 350 F Sport thingamajig that I had last week. I think the Sport is kind of redundant on something like that. I'm not kidding. And
wait,
that's
did you
actually
say
what it's called.
NX? What?
NX 350 F Sport 3. There's multiple levels of 3.
Yes, yeah. I heard M Sport. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Yes,
not
F Sport.
Not the best value proposition. I don't think the F Sport is the gas NX F Sport is the sweet spot.
Yeah, like it's good. Like it drives nice, it's good. But I think like the extra money you spend for that F Sport package is a bit of a waste. Whereas 2 weeks prior, I had an NX 450 H Plus PHEV, which was considerably cheaper than this gas one we had, and I loved it. It was actually like a great value. It looked great. It drove fantastically. It was stupidly good on gas.
Same
and it was
basic
faster.
interior.
Yeah, same interior. It just it lost the heads up, and I didn't miss it. It still had excellent adaptive cruise and lane tracing, so it drove itself on no fuel. Like that thing was great. Like excellent NPC mobile. Loved it.
The 450 was cheaper because I had less packages. You mean?
Yeah, because it was just like a relatively base spec.
So quote unquote
still really well equipped.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it didn't have the F Sport, and the F Sport racks things up really fast.
Yeah. I don't enjoy Lexus's packaging structure for the gasser because as it was pricing this out, I really like the color of our tester last week. It was cadmium orange.
Yeah, that really nice, like super metallic copper orange looks great.
Yeah, it was fucking phenomenal in the sunlight. I was less than pleased to find out that it's locked behind the cheapest way to get a proper color, be it cadmium orange or nori green or whatever blues they offer. The cheapest way to get that was through the $7,600 F Sport package, and on top of that, cadmium orange is a $650 option.
Yeah,
it's like $8,000.
Basically,
to
get a color that isn't gray,
black, or silver were the only 3 colors on my base NX 450H. Although it bears mentioning that I thought the silver, it's like a darker silver, like a gray, like a very high metallic content. I thought it looked great. I love that fucking.
Oh, like almost terrific. Like close to gunmetal-y.
Yeah,
that's
really
a nice
good.
color.
It just looked like brushed aluminum. It looked fantastic.
The color, it's stainless steel.
Yeah,
which you like for appliances.
Yeah, and Nick, you're forgetting this is an NPC-mobile appliance.
That's true.
You want it to be black, white, or stainless. That's what colors they should be.
Although credit to Lexus, because I didn't think I'd be saying this, but those optional colors, like some of them, like the blue is fantastic, the orange is great, the nori green is wicked.
Yeah, Lexus color game is delicious.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you have to pay to play, but yeah, lovely color, lovely spec. But yeah, kind of expensive for what it was.
Yeah, and but still, how much was that? Like our tester last week, the gas last week, the F Sport compared to the GLC. The GLC was 75-ish, if I recall.
They were pretty close. They were off by like two or $3,000, but they were both in the mid-70s.
Right.
The problem with that price point is that the Genesis GV70 exists.
Yes.
And for $75,000 all in, you get that sweet 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 in the Genesis.
And a beautiful interior.
Gorgeous. I like that wonderful faux Bentley styling. That thing looks so good.
Yes.
They drive great.
Yeah, I don't care that reviewers are like, oh, it's like the front end of this and the back end of that, and they copy the interior of this. Like,
but it looks dope.
The end product is fantastic. I was just talking to Nick about this when we were just driving the 7 Series, and I think it's we were talking about what are the most surprising cars of the year. And for me, that's near the top of my list for me.
Yeah, but I was still like, I liked mine. I didn't love it. I was pretty taken with my relatively base spec NX. I really liked that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, like, especially for the 10 grand difference, I think I'd take that.
Are they materially different from their Toyota counterparts enough to where
under the skin? No, but
It's a RAV4 Prime underneath.
it is a RAV4
That's what
Prime.
I mean,
But
like,
the
do you
thing is,
just-
but here's the thing: a well-equipped, a relatively comparably equipped. Why is this so hard? A relatively comparably equipped RAV4 Prime XSE. There we go. Thank you. Is 58, and this Lexus is a much nicer vehicle, a much nicer place to sit for like 6-7 more.
I agree.
6-7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a fair
Yeah,
jump. Yeah.
I agree with that. The problem with the RAV4 Prime is that if you're dropping almost 60 grand for it, and yet it still has the same basic materials, the same basic layout as a $30,000 base LE
Right.
all-wheel
Yeah.
drive or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe you have some you have some red stitching on the dashboard
Yeah.
and seats, but other than that, it's the same basic interior, and it just doesn't feel good for like what you get.
yeah.
in
It
the
doesn't. It doesn't
Prime.
feel
How
like a
much you're paying,
$58,000
yeah.
vehicle. Like a RAV4 Prime XSE with like the nice things you want is 58 grand, and
Yeah.
this Lexus NX was 65. Like that's a difference. That's
Oh yeah,
well
that's
swallowed.
that's not bad. That's
Yeah.
not bad at all. Yeah, and Lexus interiors like are
nice, like real
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, although like let's get some more ambient lighting. Like it's okay, it's fine. Come on, Lexus, a little bit's
All
fine.
white.
It's not a Mercedes.
A little, like somewhere in between.
Because they're above that.
The RZ had some a little bit, like on the doors.
Yeah, the NX had a little
weird
bit. There's like
diamond
little
glow
pockets of
thing.
white.
Yeah. But you still can adjust the colors quite in the same way as
Oh,
the
no.
as the GLC.
Well, do you want a car that starts or do you want a casino?
I want a car that starts.
You had to think about that entirely too long.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't Instagram a Lexus, you know.
Sure you
you
can.
can Instagram an LC.
Is that what you buy a
LC,
car for?
well, yeah.
Just to flex on Instagram? Is that the entire purpose
Isn't-
of having a
isn't-
car, Mr.
is-
48 Pants?
Isn't that? No, I had the Equinox all over IG. That's what I was.
Oh, that's
what
right,
I was
yeah.
Definitely.
That's what I was pushing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Speaking-
I totally don't know what the 48 looked.
Yeah.
They were showing the Equinox.
For
all the
sure.
way.
Yeah. Speaking of flexi cars, let's talk about flexing. This week I'm driving, I think, the hardest flex in the automotive kingdom right now. I love this thing. This is terrible. It's so gargantuan. I cannot
It's
get over
huge.
how enormous this car is.
I need to look up. I'm looking up how much this thing weighs right now.
Yeah, it is like it's a BMW. It's probably like a carbon core chassis. It's probably surprisingly light because BMW is good at stuff. It is ostentatious. It is slab-sided. It looks like a vault. It looks like a modern resurrection of the Mercedes W140, overly complicated bank vault of a sedan. This week I have a BMW 760i, and I fucking love it. It's so good, and it's so huge,
That thing
and
is
it's so
fucking
dumb,
fast.
and it's amazing.
And to give you a visual, it is what's the I don't know what the color's called, but it's one of the frozen ones.
Gray. I actually don't. I was like,
Frozen
I quickly
matte
spec'd
gray.
it up today just to kind of give a rough
Yeah.
idea how much it was. I know it's a $4,900 option. It's like a semi-matte, like metallic gray. I think it looks so good. I hate matte paint, and that car pulls it off so well.
It does. It looks good.
It still reflects a bit of.
Yeah, like
a
it's
bit
got
of
like
light.
it's got some clear on it. It's just not like
Yeah.
super polished. I love that it's not two-tone. I don't like two-tone on those, like a lot of the i7s have. Which is also surprisingly expensive. It's $13,000 for two-tone.
The two, and that's that's hideous. I don't like it.
I don't love it. It makes an already questionably styled car. Because like as much as I enjoy it, I recognize it is contentious. Gentlemen, what do we feel about the styling on this car?
I actually don't like the styling itself. Like the car has tons of presence just by its
Absolutely.
sheer size.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it is presence by value of just being very present
like,
everywhere.
Like I'm 5'10", and I think like its roof was at my shoulder. Like it was like it's pretty much. Nick was joking that it's a crossover.
yeah,
Well, yeah. So the Lexus UX that we had a few weeks ago, that feels like it comes up to basically the same height as the
Yeah.
7
Yeah,
Series.
well,
like,
it's
That's
not
a
even, but like it
crossover.
comes up in proportion, right? It's tall just by virtue of being like a regular big car. It's a big Mercedes, just scaled up like 20%.
Yeah, and it's like and by big, just I looked it up, 5,095 pounds.
It does not feel it because it really hides its weight well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially like a Bentley Continental is like 5,500.
Yeah.
And look at how much smaller that is. That is
Yeah.
the size of a car. This is the size of a bus.
Yeah, fair enough. And this thing, this thing is huge. For scientific research, we realized that 2 full-grown men can fit into the trunk
Yeah.
of the vehicle.
Who are alive and well.
Yep.
We're doing just fine.
We're still here, still recording the podcast. You couldn't hear us talking in there.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Like,
The thing is a vault. It looks like a vault. It is the color of a vault. That metallic
Yep.
brush steel. Like it looks like is and drives like a vault.
so when we
That happens to be really fast.
and when we were out on the road, and we'll get to the sporting side of it, but Nick and I put it in the relax. So for one, it has these weird the
Yeah.
drive modes are like
Yeah.
moods,
which I don't love.
No, me
honestly.
neither,
Like
because-
it's
Yeah.
not bad, but I don't love that it's tied into the drive modes.
So yeah, there's some of the modes are like sport, essential, relax.
yeah, relax closes all the blinds and just automatically turns the massage on.
Yeah, but it's
And it also changes the screens too. Like relax goes to like a very
colors?
soft desert
Yeah.
hue, and then there's like digital art ones that also tie into the mood lighting, which BMW is very good at.
But it's just unclear.
It's so sexy.
It's unclear which one of those modes actually alter the driving characteristics, or do they all?
I feel like-
we were trying to figure that out.
I think it's basically comfort or kill.
I feel when we set it to sport mode, that was the only one that was the only mode that made a somewhat appreciable difference.
Yes.
But like everything else was like it didn't really affect the driving
No.
or the throttle response, steering weight that much, except for sport mode.
Yeah.
But like when we were driving it in relax mode,
It's relaxing.
it actually
yeah.
it's almost like you feel like, you know, when you could hear silence a little bit,
Yeah.
it really felt like that. Like
Yeah.
you could feel the air moving around the cabin. Like it was quiet. Yeah, you can hear the engine sounds a little bit and stuff, but it was quiet.
It's magnificent. It's what's the word it was? There was a word I was playing with. You guys keep talking. I'll think about it.
What's on the hood of that thing?
I actually don't know. I can't remember if it's the. I don't know. I actually haven't looked. I think it's the S68. The same motor in all the new M60i products, so the
Yeah.
same 4.4 twin turbo with the mild
Yeah.
hybrid. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm like 90% on
It
that.
really, really hides its weight well. That thing's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, being as big as it is not that heavy. 5,000 pounds is really not a
well,
lot.
I mean, hustling around 5,000 pounds
feel like
did not feel
Yeah?
like it.
The four-wheel steering does a lot of heavy lifting in that thing.
Yeah. Like it floats around, but it hangs on.
Yeah, it really does. And like it does it organically. It doesn't
Yeah.
like once you get over like, wow, something this big should not be moving this well.
Yeah.
It feels natural.
Yeah, and I'm not even so mad that there's no hardcore sports. Like sports setting is still perfectly
yeah, like let's face
right?
it, like that's not what it's for.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's nice that they did that.
Yeah.
I will say, and Nick agreed, and I'm sure Nathan you will as well. Like the steering was like featherweight light, even in sport mode. Like that's one thing that could, I could literally just move it around with my pinky.
Yeah, it's relaxing.
legitimately.
I was expecting absolutely
It should be effortless.
feel to it, but I wasn't expecting it to be that effortless.
No, my E90 328 that I've been driving around, that
Yeah.
thing takes
That's got a lot more weight, yeah.
biceps. Like,
Yeah.
this was
Yeah.
this was among the lightest steerings I've driven
Yeah.
in recent memory. to
but
be
it's
honest.
not numb. It's not like disconcerting and like overly over boosted. It's
Yeah.
not like jumpy. It's just very light and easy breezy. I like it. It's supposed to be like a super gigantic, comfortable flex machine, and it nails the shit out of that. And unlike a lot of giant chauffeur cars, it's still okay to drive.
So I think with a little more weight to the steering, I'd be a little bit more confident.
You get used to it really fast.
Outside of that, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
The interior, I'd love to see. I feel like it probably shines at night more than it does during the daytime.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, interior, I found when I first sat in, I'm like, this is a lot of material. A lot of there's everything looks good.
Yeah.
But there's molded glass looking trim.
Yeah.
There's the
There's
Bowers and Wilkins speaker grills.
there's
that
a
are-
lot
which are a
going
lot.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like this exceptionally bright, very metallic carbon fiber trim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
I like
a
the trim.
lot, which it just at first it felt like, this is a lot.
Yeah.
I actually noted to Nick, I'm like, this kind of reminds me of the WRX, the Subaru conversation
the
with
Cross-Trek.
with the 5 or 6 different materials.
Yeah, but like unlike the Cross-Trek,
It's harmonious.
Exactly, exactly. It doesn't clash.
So in that segment, yeah, I think it works. But like I said, like I think this is one of those cars, like if you're driving around at night, it'll look and feel even better.
I think it's just like being that it's so slab nosed and slab sided, like it looks like a brick, like a big, sexy, imposing brick. And because no one's buying big sedans anymore, right? It's all big SUVs. So if you're going out of your way to get a sedan because you want a 7, they've decided to go like way up market with it and make it just a gigantic bicep flex machine. And I love that they like have recognized its position in the market and I'm rolling with it. And it's so good. It's so good. I love it.
I was very, very disappointed, almost outraged that it had a power sunshade for the sunroof.
Oh.
Moonroof. I think that is unacceptable. It needs to be that fancy new...
What's it called? Electrochromatic,
setup. Unacceptable. Felt like a fucking Honda Civic.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Lexus, the RZ had that electrochromatic thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
but hang on.
cool.
But hang on. But BMW has like the fancy mood lighting that's baked into the glass. So there's like the trace lines in it that light up, and it looks extra fancy pants. I don't know if you can do that with the Oh, they probably could. I'm sure there's a way. I'm just being a fanboy right now. I love big BMWs, man. I've always liked them. They're great cars.
As soon as I got into that, the first thing I thought was that this thing truly does feel like a flagship vehicle between
resplendent.
fit and finish.
That was the word.
Yes.
It feels resplendent. It's
resplendent?
Yes.
It is a sense that I did not get from either the Mercedes S580 or the EQS.
Yeah.
Like those do not feel like flagships despite them sitting at the very top of the Mercedes-Benz lineup.
Yeah.
But the 7 Series truly does live up to its role as a flagship vehicle.
Yeah, it really does. It is the flag bearer just because of how big it is. It's about the size of a building. Like you can definitely put a flag.
Yeah, but even interior quality, like we noted, like the EQS interior quality was terrible.
Yeah.
And what's this thing? The 7 worth? Probably in around the same thing, right?
Thereabouts. Starts at. I just did a quick look today. I think the 760 is the only trim available in Canada.
Yeah.
I saw something on BMW's website about a 750e, but then I couldn't find it in the builder, so we're just going to stick with the 750, which starts at 147.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think ours is, I want to say 165, 170.
Okay, and so the EQS was north of 200, wasn't it?
Well, the EQS also an EV.
Fair, but
And so we have to go back. What is an i7 worth?
An i7. That is a...
Or the S580, I think, like the S580 that we have just around as a friend's car right now. I think that's 130, 40, if my memory serves.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but like the point I'm making here is that like nothing in the 7 felt low rent.
Nothing.
Like everything you touched felt good. And that EQS, I recall like noting, and I wasn't even looking for it, but like some scratchy plastics, like
some freaky
just
plastics, some leather work that was kind of disappointing.
So the last i7 that Ben had over Christmas-ish last year, as tested, 194.2.
So pretty dead heat with EQS.
Yeah,
right.
Considering that this bears the flagship flag a lot more effectively than the EQS. It's just night and day.
Yeah, the 760 is the car Mercedes should be making. Like if they kept going down the path of the 140 and continued over-engineering the shit out of their cars.
I agree. Look and feel.
That's what this car would be.
Speaking of over-engineered, Imran, you have something that's been basically over-engineered since 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
Dinosaur by comparison.
Yeah, I think it was over-engineered in 2013 or 2014. I don't know if it is today. And this might be an unpopular opinion, but I have the 4Runner 40th Anniversary Edition, which is seemingly more so of an appearance package. It's not like the TRD Pro.
Yeah.
It's not a TRD Pro? I thought it was. Really? It's just the appearance package.
No, so you have those funky...
the appearance package is sick, though.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, okay, so it's black.
I know you're soft on it, but that looks
it's
great.
black, and it has decals that run from the headlight to the rear window. and what is it? Orange, yellow, and red.
Yeah.
Right.
Orange, yellow, and red on like the
Strips.
Toyota TRD like bronze
Yeah.
wheels.
Yeah.
It looks
It looks great, dude.
So
Yeah.
it looks, it has this very sort of old school look to it.
That's what they're going for.
Yeah,
Sick.
which is actually, so they've definitely like hit the mark on that. I do think it looks cool.
It's very radcore.
The stripes at first I was a little but it grows on you, especially with the bronze wheels.
Yeah.
Like the bronze wheels really kind of put it all together.
Every Toyota should have those wheels.
Yeah.
They
Seriously.
should all have bronze wheels. They look amazing.
But but the rest of it, like this is the first 4Runner I've driven. And Nick, I know you had a test drive, I think, last year, and Nathan, I don't know if you've driven one before, but
Is it still the same platform as the Tacoma? Because I've not driven a 4Runner, a modern 4Runner. I've only had the only trucky Toyota I've had is the Big Tundra, which has nothing to do with this, and the Tacoma, which is a fossil, a lovable fossil, but a fossil.
So this felt like it just feels like an old SUV to me. And yes, it is an old platform, but and I'm sure if you take it, off-roading on some light trails or something like that, maybe it shines there or in the winter. But driving around in 28-degree weather that we've had for the last couple days, like it just doesn't feel great. Like it feels.
It still has it still has Toyota's the previous generation infotainment, which I'm pretty sure is still running. If not Windows XP, then a very similar Windows XP style user interface.
Yeah,
haven't they updated it? Do you have? Because there's like I think two screens. There's like a small screen and a pathetic screen. Which one?
No, it's a small. It's like it must be like 7 inches or something.
Oh yeah, that tracks. Okay,
And
so
it's,
I just googled it off screen or off mic. I guess you wouldn't hear it on mic. You know why I felt the need to compel that. But yeah, I did Google it. They are the same platform, and I get what you're saying. Like it feels like a truck. It's not nice. It's not fancy. But if you like trucks to feel like trucks. It does
like it's just I just feel like it's 58,000 this one.
Yeah, not cheap. But these things sell themselves.
That's the thing. Like Toyota has not updated virtually anything, and we were talking about this. For example, we talked about the screen, right? All of like the infotainment, climate controls. Gauges are essentially verbatim from my buddy sent me a pic of his like 2015 or 14 that he had.
But they're easy to use
essentially
and they work.
The same.
Yeah. It's the GM thing. Like
Yeah,
it's
I know,
honest and
but it's like,
approachable and it works.
I feel like in this case it's like a little bit of an excuse, like it's rugged, so we don't have to update anything, right?
Well, yeah,
like,
that's marketing speak. But I mean, it's getting so the Tacoma's getting redesigned. I think the 4Runner's going with it, so it's getting updated.
I'm sure it is, right?
Yeah.
Like it's one thing that I noted was very much like they're just like, we're just not going to touch this thing. It doesn't have the like tap 3 blink to pass to change lanes.
Oh,
like that. Like I thought that was like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like I thought that was like a standard, like almost law thing now.
Yeah.
Like it's just that has included in every vehicle that exists today, right? Like
Also, it also doesn't have a power lift gate, which for people of average height like us, it's reasonably fine. But
just get taller, bro.
Yeah, I know, just grow. But
put my heels on.
But considering how tall it is, like when I had my pressure a couple years ago, my wife did not enjoy closing the lift gate.
No, and it's like it opens like
it's wide opening.
It's wide open,
which is great for fitting shit in. But
yeah,
doesn't have to close it.
Like you're talking about this utilitarian truck that's easy to use and has a wide opening. I don't understand your problem. You guys suck. No, when I had the Tacoma last year, I didn't notice it didn't do the 3 blink thing because I was just driving it like it was my dad's old Ranger. Like it's the same truck.
That's exactly it. So that's both good and bad, right? Like you're still spending $58,000 for this thing.
Yeah.
It should have like a tap to pass.
Okay, but I think the argument is like if you want that in a roughly similar sized Toyota, you get a Highlander. You get a 4Runner because you want a truck.
But you want to be manly though.
Well,
get a Land Cruiser.
Pick one.
See, that's the thing.
Men go for manicures now. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Is that like you still?
There's no shame in that.
Okay, and I guess Toyota's working on that next year. That's been in the pipeline for a while. They've having a crisis about it. Like how far do we go?
That's what I feel like
I don't envy Toyota for having to redesign this because eventually they're going to have to refresh it. But like, I'm not entirely sure if the 4Runner is the good kind of new old car or the bad kind of new old car.
Yeah, good.
There's good new old car, which I would loop the I would look.
The Nissan Z is first that comes to mind.
The Nissan Z, GTR, F-Type to a certain extent.
Sure. But to an extent. But new old car, like, it cuts both ways. It's not good or bad. It's both. You get this, you lose this. Pick, like, what do you want?
Yeah, but with the 4Runner, where's the new part?
There is no new part.
It's old.
It is a brand new vehicle.
It smells like a new car when you first pick it up.
Yeah. Do you want the peace of mind of a brand new vehicle? There you go. You got it. You want something that still feels old, and you got that too.
Like, it even has the finger indent for the gas cap. Like, it's I haven't seen that in forever.
I haven't seen that since my dad's 95 Bonneville.
Yeah. They're easy to use. What's your problem? And they're more reliable than, like, the push down, like the hinge spring mechanism. Like, those break.
That doesn't.
The finger detent doesn't.
They don't freeze in winter, I guess.
So I just feel like the new Land Cruiser. I'll be like, this is fantastic.
Have we? We have not had one, have we?
No, not yet. But I feel like that'll be like, this is it.
Yeah, the Land Cruiser is also like a flagship vehicle and priced accordingly.
No, right? But they have two versions now, right? Which isn't one of them a smaller one that they're bringing here based off the... I forget what it's called.
No, wasn't there the Land Cruiser and the Lexus variety? I think there's still both.
There's a Land Cruiser Mini that's been rumored, but nothing. There's nothing official yet. But they are. I think they are working on it. It would be interesting to see the relationship between that and the 4Runner, like if that's going to become the new 4Runner.
Yeah, because Toyota did confirm that the 4Runner's not dying.
Yeah, like,
but like
they redid the Tacoma. The 4Runner's going to be right behind it.
But like, I'm curious to know if this new mini Land Cruiser is more of an FJ successor or a new 4Runner.
Well, there's already a 4Runner.
A redesigned 4Runner, the next generation 4Runner. That's what I meant.
It seems like a very crowded segment that for Toyota,
kind of.
I don't know, to have these both these Land Cruisers, the 4Runner, even the Highlander, like all of these cars.
Yeah, but to bring it back around, if you want like a normal, modern, whatever NPC-mobile with modern NPC niceties, Toyota will sell that to you, and so will anyone else. If you want a truck, if you want a 4Runner that looks and feels like a 4Runner and does 4Runner honest to God truck things, it's there, and no one else is doing that.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a new version of that. That's okay.
I think the point you're missing is that Toyota's still selling all of them. There's clearly a demand for this.
Totally, yeah. And not only...
It's a unique segment in the market.
Not only selling, aren't they getting stolen, like left, front, and center?
Like crazy, because they're sick.
I'm not going to lie, I come out in the morning, and, sorry Toyota Canada, but, like, I come out and I'm like, please be there. Please be there.
I think I kind of agree with Imran on this one. Like,
no, you're wrong.
It can still be functional. It can still be intuitive. It can still work, but it can also be a little nicer.
Okay, but what do you want? A power liftgate? I'm sure that's an option. It's just not on this one.
Yeah, I mean there is a limited version.
Yeah. Do you need like the springy detent on the gas door? Is this a deal breaker for you?
I would
at least like Toyota's new infotainment system, and maybe a transmission that doesn't kick me in the lower back every time it shifts on full throttle.
Yeah. So that
you guys are sissies.
Also,
what's wrong with nice things, Nathan?
There's nothing wrong with having nice things.
It's a crisp shift action lasts longer. It's less wear on the clutches.
Okay.
Kidding.
Forget the power liftgate. I would like an updated infotainment, which they can literally.
Yeah, but the infotainment in that works.
But it works in all the
there's
new
a
stuff.
Radio.
We literally
there's a radio. What else do you want it to do? There's a radio and nav.
We talked about how good the Toyota Lexus stuff is today.
You're literally fawning over the NX over its fancy new infotainment.
Yeah, it works
great.
Why
can't we have that system?
It works great
on a smaller screen.
It works great. Well, because you don't need it. Also, if you were to put a 14-inch television in the dashboard of a 4Runner, it'd look weird.
I don't want a 14-inch television. I want Nate.
Just put like
if it would be thematically correct, it'd be a 14-inch CRT to match how old the rest of the truck is, and it'd look kind of funny.
Oh, but cool, actually. Like that.
Maybe just give me the tap to change lane, the 3 blink.
I will give you that concession.
maybe that's all I want.
That seems like a bit of a ridiculous oversight. That's not even expensive. Like, that's dumb.
Literally everything else in Toyota's lineup has a tap and turn. I don't see why they can't. add that module.
Yeah.
It's just that
just
their
start-
old like
start
production
the-
cycle of just like, well, we'd have to redo this, and then and it all becomes a thing.
Yeah.
And our marketing shows we don't need it, so we're not going to.
I'm sure we're coming. We're 6 months down the road or 3 months down the road, we're going to hear about the new 4Runner, and all of these problems are going to go away. I'm pretty certain of that.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. And then it's going to be soft.
No, then Nathan's going to be like, "This infotainment system's great."
I love it. It's the same system as the NX.
Positive mood today. Why do you guys hate me? Try not to be so negative.
I just think you can be nicer.
I am being nice to the 4Runner. Not you guys, because you suck.
So what's on the cards for next week?
What is in the cards for next week? Let me have a peek at our schedule here.
Imran, you're in the Buick Envision Avenir.
All right. The last Buick I was in was probably a Buick Century
Nice.
from like the 80s that my dad had.
Nice.
I don't know if I've even sat in one since.
I forget, I think I had the midsize Buick crossover last year. I actually really liked it. They drive nice. Typical GM fashion. Like, they drive well. Buicks are tuned a little softer. They're a nice place to sit.
Nice.
I hate myself for admitting this, but as much as I loathe the "is that a Buick" ads, every time I see an Envision Avenir on the road, I'm like,
They look good.
is that a Buick?
No,
Like, actually,
Buicks actually
really
look
good.
okay,
They look
yeah. And Shaq endorses them, so
You probably paid millions of dollars by Jim to say they're nice, but yeah, of all the Buicks that I come across on the road, I actually kind of do more double takes than I care to admit.
They look really
towards
good.
yeah, they
I
do.
really like mine.
They do. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. What else do we have?
Nick's got a Subaru Forester Sport.
Ooh.
Another NPC-mobile. 'Tis crossover season, boys.
Yeah,
That's
we're
right.
coming into that. And I have an F250 Limited, which I'm told is a diesel, right?
Yes.
The 6.7
Yeah.
Power Stroke or whatever.
Yeah. So
nice.
the Tremor that we reviewed a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago rather, that was the gasser.
The new gas. I actually really wanted to sample that engine. I'm so interested in that engine. That Ford built a brand new old engine.
Yeah.
In the style of the 4Runner. It's magnificent.
Wait, with the Subaru, do you got your Patagonia vest ready?
I got my granola ready as well.
All right.
And my Birkenstocks as well.
There you
Sick.
go.
No, it's I specifically want that one because my dad's in the thinking process of potentially replacing his 2011 Legacy, and the Forester Sport's on the top of that list. So I really wanted to steal the
okay.
Envision Avenir, but I am taking the Forester because I'm a good son.
Ah, nice.
They're laughing because I yawned.
Like actively into the mic. That's why we both paused.
Yes,
I didn't yawn loudly.
yes, these are NPC-mobiles. I get it. I want to fall asleep too. And Benji's in the Civic Si, so that should be fun.
Oh, yeah, fun little cars.
Yeah. You bought one of those, right? Something like that? Something vaguely similar?
You
If I
put the
recall
version
correctly?
balls.
Yeah, exactly. I got the roided out version, the Integra Type S.
Sick.
Like roided or just like modern supplements? Like
yeah.
Like
fair,
it's been to the gym a couple times. Like it's
Let's
pretty fit.
fair enough. Although that SI, like I've driven it, it's a good car.
They're fun.
It's a fun car.
They're
yeah.
fun.
It's a good balance between still good value and still reasonably fun to drive
Yes,
as
but
well.
yes, only 200 horsepower
Yeah.
Only
in 2024.
Nah.
unacceptable.
What happened to slow car fast?
I thought you loved
That's
slow
what
car
I
fast.
said. I said it was good.
I thought you loved new old cars too.
No, old new cars. It's backwards.
Old new cars. Yeah, old new cars.
Old new cars. Old new cars.
No,
Very
new,
well done.
no, new old cars. It's new old cars.
Old new cars.
We're getting off track here, boys. I think it's a good place to pack it in.
Yeah. That's what we should call it. Thank you all for tuning in. It has been a slice. Keep an eye. Keep an eye out on our adventures on socials at doubleclutch.ca, and we will see you all next week.
Very good.
Have a good one.
Catch you on the flippity flip.